Banner Podcast. Banner Podcast. Brews and Banner Podcast. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
To everybody is, does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. Have you invested so loyalty, I know the vibes.
People just making up names of songs now.
Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Come on my chicken like it's a two-piece. You can have your back to your groupie. She just hold my kids in a two-seat. Swagged out. Familiar, we bringing them.
Hey, that shit John though.
That shit catchy, man.
Yeah. I just
really making them names though, making them words.
I think I realized I'm in love with Brooklyn. Brooklyn Drill. It don't matter what they say. Huh? It matter what they say.
It's the beat. It's the beat.
Right. It's like, yo, that's him. That thing be
that dude just said he addicted to blue cheese. That was dumb. And we like it.
Right. I'm sticking the paper like loose leaf.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm sticking the paper like loose leaf. That's stupid. What?
But it got that Brooklyn Drill on it, so it's fine. Yeah,
that'd be catchy. That'd be catchy.
Mm-hmm. What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rockin' and the brew. Will that be the fuel? And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
Hey.
What is going on, everyone?
Hi.
How y'all doing?
This is episode 112, where the players
I see you.
Yeah. Oh, you took that back. Look at him. You back now.
I feel like they've been waiting for 4 weeks. They've been waiting for
112. Yes. I'm like, 111.
Go ahead, Dan. Right.
I can tell by the eyes that you're feeling me.
And I want to say volume 40 of our social distancing series.
On it, Rob.
Don't quote me on that, but it's volume.
Yeah, we'll take it. You know what? We'll take it.
That's where we at.
That's good.
Yeah. So we have a special guest when we have a social distancing series, and we have from Other Side Beverage, Sean. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on, Sean.
Hopefully someday we can actually get together and have a beer together.
Right.
That would be nice.
I guess I could have said your whole government, but I just stopped at Sean because I was looking around.
Sean's good. There it is.
Well, if you know who he is, you know his last name.
Right. Other Side Beverage. Sean,
I guess
Other Side Beverage.
Did I do my handle or the Instagram? I could have done that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
We'll wait for that. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, and you can tell us
he feels left
out.
Oh, I get it. He feels left out.
You see everybody else. He's like, oh, man.
That's all right.
Yep.
This is, like I said, this is episode 112. And before we jump into everything we always need to know, what are we drinking today? So, Sean, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking a fresh can of Futuristic Future, man, from Dewy. We're stoked that those guys are getting the production facility rolling now, and hopefully have some beers coming out of there within the next couple weeks. So yeah, man, it's hard not to drink those, and these Futuristic Future is always one of my favorites. So
okay.
Nice.
What kind of style? What style is that?
It's a 9.1% double IPA.
Double IPA.
9.1. Nope.
That's why I got the shades on.
He's gonna be hazy. He's gonna be hazy lazy after that joint.
Just having one.
Right. Oh, just one.
Just one.
Well, it's funny you say just one. We have a rating on Brews and Banner podcast of pass me another. I'll have just one or keep it in the cooler based on how you feel about the style brew. So what would you rate that brew?
I mean, I would love to drink another, but
So it's definitely a pass me another.
appreciate how it was afterwards, so.
But based on the kind of day that you have, and you can only have one today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. We know we had a couple people that do that. I mean, I think Luke sometimes like, yo, I would have another, but
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Take me first.
Yo, what are you drinking on?
So what I'm drinking is this blackberry pie. This is as you can see on the can. I don't even gotta say what because they wrote it on there big as hell. It's a 5.5 for the listeners. It's a 5.5, but it's it says making out with Lighthouse because I think it's a collab. Yeah, it's a collab with Lighthouse Beer Company, and they're both located in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh yeah, Lighthouse. That's a. Have you guys been to that bottle shop?
I have. That's where I got this from. Actually, I got it from Lighthouse.
That's the guy Max that does a lot of that stuff for them. He went to UD. He's a really good dude. And, super into like the fruited sours and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. We got you got a UD graduate on here.
Go Blue Hens. Go Blue Hens.
There you go.
And this is what it looks like in the glass. I drink most of it because it's delicious.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's like really good.
It's like grape Kool-Aid with alcohol in it. It's like grape Kool-Aid with alcohol.
Oh, well,
Absolutely.
I guess I got to try mine.
Carbonated. Yeah.
Yeah, a little
good.
good.
Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Give me back yours, Rob.
Dad, what am I having?
I've been drinking out. Yeah, Dad, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm having a small batch series from Yards Brewing Company. This is a first draft winter lager, brewed with coffee, chocolate, and hazelnut. Rob bought this sheet to my crib yesterday, but I didn't try it, so it looked delicious. I just didn't get around to it, so I'm trying it today. You definitely taste the hazelnut in it, and you can see how dark it is. Very little head, but delicious. You can, like I said, you can definitely taste the hazelnut shining through.
I know every time you say it, Robert giggle.
But I was particularly excited about trying this because it's considered a dunkel lager, and the dunkels that we had a year ago was good. In that with a lager is a it's an interesting mix up. And this is coming in at 6% ABV, and I give it a pass me another because it's delicious. Cheers.
All right,
Cheers.
Lou, what you drinking on?
We have here a Vienna Lager today. Where are we at?
Vienna
Lager. High Time. They're out of Hot Fly Brewing, which is in North Carolina, Rocky Mount, North Carolina to be exact. It is a what's the percentage on here? 4.8% lager. It's darker than I would have imagined. It's a little orangey, a little bit more yellow, not as yellow and crisp as I'm used to with lagers, but it tastes good. It tastes good. It's heavy, but cheers. Okay. I'm gonna have just one.
Just one.
It's heavy.
Yeah, like lagers. I'm usually used to a light
type of thing. Or?
Yeah. I'm used to a like 4.8. It shouldn't taste this heavy to me. It tastes real heavy. As far as like I feel like I couldn't stand up after I finished drinking it, but it's not. Or you know what? Not heavy. It's more exactly because it's 4.8. It's boozy. It's more boozy and alcoholic than I was expecting being at 4.8 when I picked it up. 4.8. Like I gotta drive, man. I drive this because I gotta drive. I'm like, sheesh. I'm getting hot. So I'm gonna have just one. I just want one.
So that could be to the IBUs that might make it like that, possibly.
Let me check.
Right?
Well, sometimes
they don't put the IBUs on there.
They're the bitterness units.
It's not bitter.
That won't.
It's not bitter. No, it's not bitter.
It's not bitter.
It might be some of the fruits they use. Maybe they use some fruits. You said fruits in there. So maybe that's
no. It don't tell me nothing on the can. Yeah, it don't tell me nothing about ingredients and things on the can.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's in there.
What your sensories tell you? What your senses tell you?
My sensories tell me that if I didn't know it was 4.8, I would think it was 9.8. And
got you.
But other than that, and I thought it would be a little lighter in color, but I like the color. It was a good surprise.
So does it have something boozy in it? What's in it? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
But what's the
it
name
does
of
say
it?
high time
High
though.
time.
It does say high time.
time.
So I don't know.
Maybe-
I'm
maybe-
assuming that's a hop. That's a hop. That's not marijuana. That's a hop.
Yeah, that is definitely hot. But like,
Or maybe is that a hop fly? That's a hop fly. I think that's a hop fly because that's the
maybe it's just a fly ass hop.
There you
It
go.
could be that too. But no, that's a hop fly. I think that's their company. I think that's the branding. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Gotcha.
dope.
Oh yeah,
That's dope.
because it's a hop. That's okay. I see. I
The
get
fly.
it.
What's the
Right. And the
brewery
name is
name?
Hop Fly.
I haven't heard of those guys.
They're out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina. It's called Sean. Hop Fly, Sean.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Hop Fly. Hey Rob.
Yes, sir.
Rob G.
Right.
What would you be happen to be drinking on in the basement studio today?
Go.
I'm glad you asked. I'm actually drinking something from Dewy. It's the Squishy Pants.
Oh,
Ooh.
squishy.
That's my
Pants.
go-to, man.
There you
That's
go,
your go-to.
Squishy
Squishy
Pants.
pants.
There you go, Squishy Pants.
Squishy.
Did you pick
Squishy
that up at
pants.
Preston's this week?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Right.
I was there.
Just canned that on Monday. So yep, that's
Nice.
Damn.
Oh, that's fresh.
Yeah,
That's in a week.
This week, you look for some. If you guys like the fruited sours, we sending some
Yeah,
secret
yeah.
machine,
I do.
triple berry up this week. So
Wait, when next week you said?
Wednesday, though.
Where you sending them?
Preston's gets their deliveries on Wednesday. So
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go get some of that.
Good.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh man, yo, I'm gonna give you my number. I just need you to text me whatever.
Special batches on that delivery.
Forget that number. Give them your address. Give them your address. Let's make something happen after this podcast is over. You need my address.
Yeah, but this is 7.5% ABV. Obviously, it's out of Delaware, Dewy. But
Some people don't know that. Some people may not know that.
Yeah, right. But it's brewed in their Harbison, Delaware. I guess that's where their new plant is. Correct?
That's the new one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really
How close
cool,
is that
man.
to How close is that to Dewey?
It's about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah. Because I was reading
Definitely
that
Route
they were.
9. If you know where Route 9 is, where that splits
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
it's about 5-10 minutes down the road. There's a Rofo, and then there's like a store on the corner that everybody knows. I'm sure you've heard have you ever heard those commercials for Dragon's Lair? It's like a store there, but it's right beside that. Anybody
That's a Southern Delaware thing, Sean.
Don't know what.
Yeah. I told you, man. It's two different worlds, man. Once you cross the canal. Yeah.
Unless you frequent it, like a lot of, I'm sure some people who go to Dewey all the time, but like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is.
I know
You guys
exactly
have
where
been to the brewery though, right? You've been to Dewey?
Yeah,
I haven't been.
So it's not far. And dude, the setup of this new one is amazing. The tap, the patio, it's going to be really cool. I think they're pretty sick to get that one rolling.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, that allow people to get
try it out, check it out.
more of their beers because I know they'd be in demand, especially
there's
with that.
beer coming, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
What's it look like, Rob? Did you show it?
The one oh, it's hazy. Here you go.
Look at that.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Super
Like
hazy, it's juicy. You said what? Chocolate
Like
milk?
it's like a yellow milkshake.
Yeah, it is hazy.
I don't know if it has lactose in it though. I don't think
It looked like it. Do it look thick?
It looks like
Yeah,
it would have lactose, but no.
It doesn't say it.
No lactose.
Sean
said, nah, it don't have it.
Yeah,
He said that's his go-to, so he's had it.
He would know. He would know.
It got three hops in there. Got the Galaxy, Citra, and Mosaic hops in there.
I was gonna say Mosaic got to be in there somewhere.
Right. Okay.
So not too bitter. I mean, it's good. Pass me another.
That's funny because it looks like it'd be bitter. Like it looks like if you're telling me there's no lactose in it, then it would have to be bitter because it looked like that shit.
I mean, it's always like, a slight bitterness, but that's an IPA. But
I know, but it looks like it'll be super bitter.
It looks like fully IPA.
It's not. It's not. It's. I mean, I enjoy it, especially when it's enjoyed cold, as the direction says on the can.
Red.
All right.
You're well read.
Yeah. That's what I do. I read cans in here. I do technically. I have another one, but I don't know if I want to get to it. But it's from Miss Pillion River Brewing. It's the War Llama joint. The sour, sour brewed with fresh fruit puree, coming in at 5%. I've had this before. It's sweet. So for all the people that were like, I don't know if I like beer, you should hit them with this, and they be like, I made my wife a believer with this one.
I tried it last night too. That one was good for a sour. Like I was like, okay, I can handle.
I already
this.
know I like that.
Yo,
Yeah,
I think this Wet City one would be a good one too. Like it's because it's like it's real good. I think the Wet City would be a good introduction too. Like if you're giving it to like your wife,
giving it to a wife or even somebody who doesn't drink beer.
Where is Wet City located?
That's the only kind of like beer drinker that's like heavily fruited sour.
There.
Yeah.
All right, so sound like everybody got some good beer, so we want to definitely get up into this episode and find out all about Other Side Beverage and Sean. So Sean, the floor is yours.
Awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much you guys know about us, but there's three. I have two other partners, Matt and Andrew. We got rolling. Actually, we're gonna celebrate our second anniversary on we sold our first keg of beer to Jessup's Tavern on the 25th of March, 2019.
Congratulations!
So we saw an opportunity in Delaware to get things rolling with some of our brewery friends. Union. We started with Union, Oliver, 3 Stars, Vanderhill. A couple. We started with like a wine spritzer out of Maryland. I'm trying to think who else was in that original book, but Union was a big part of it. So we got rolling in March, and then we wanted to kind of keep that ball rolling and try to change the beer scene in Delaware some, and keep bringing these fire breweries to the state. Equilibrium was one of the next ones that really like came on, and we did a big beer drop with that, and then those drops really helped us get rolling. And all of our roots are in Maryland. We sold beer in Maryland for another distributor. I was at the distributor for about 8 years, and my partner Matt was at that distributor he was there until we started this. And I worked for RER for a few years as the sales director and running a bunch of stuff there. So we got this rolling. And then we opened Maryland in December 2019. Started with Equilibrium, 2SP, which we love those guys. We've known them for a long time.
They're Aston, right?
Yeah,
what's that?
They're in Aston, right?
Yep, exactly. And then just kind of continue to add some just really strong brands, and we look to kind of grab like some of the best, for the best brands and breweries from each state, and bring them to the markets that we work in. So that was kind of the plan to get rolling, and we're pretty happy with where things are. We made it through a pretty tough time to be in business and selling beer, but we were, I guess March 2020. It was about right now everything kind of changed, and we predominantly sold draft at that point. We worked with stores, Preston's, as you guys know, but that day we switched and called all of our suppliers like, hey man, we can't take any more draft, but we'll take cans. So we've been able to grow through one of the toughest times I think in history for a business. We had 4 employees this time last year. We're up to
oh wow,
rolling and keeping the goods coming into to Delaware and Maryland, man.
Yeah. So where did the name Other Side come from?
So
why?
When we got rolling, we had worked on both sides of the business, a brewery, a distributor, and restaurants, obviously through college, and then the other reason was so basically we saw it from both sides of the business. We wanted to be a good partner, and not hold breweries into any crazy contracts, anything like that. Yeah, I mean that was kind of where we came up with that.
All right,
well,
just be on the other side,
right?
Well, probably being from the industry, you kind of seen what the dudes and like, I would do this differently if I was in charge, type of thing.
Right. Coming from, I worked with, breweries or suppliers at a distributor, and I had also seen it from being at a brewery and working with distributors. So you can kind of see there's good things and bad things to take away from both, and ways to do the right thing for each other. So that was definitely a big thing. And I had worked with at the brewery level. I worked with an independent distributor, like what we are, a small independent. I worked with a bud house. I worked at with a Miller house, and then I worked. We did self distro also, so I kind of got to see all four facets of distribution and how they all worked. So I learned a lot from that, and I think knowing how each one worked, I saw like the benefits of both, but how the small independent can really like help grow a brand.
So you saw things from the other side.
Exactly.
That was kind of creepy. So how does maybe I missed something, but how does this work, Sean? Like, are y'all looking for different companies, or do y'all market towards different companies, or are they coming to you guys?
So we started with some people that we were friends with. When I was at RAR, I became I met a bunch of people. Will from Equilibrium, some of those like bigger breweries that we're working with now. So we would reach out to all those guys, got things rolling. And now when we set up a target list, we brought on a guy named Casey, and he's been like huge in helping us kind of go out and take the time, because we're running a business selling beer. So Casey, when he first started, really focused on reaching out to all of these brewery partners that we had and saying, hey man, this is what we're doing, this is what we're working with. Would you be interested in sending us some beer to Delaware, Maryland, and then go through the process? So we do reach out to the ones that we were really, really excited in working with. And then we also have breweries and suppliers that reach out to us as well. And, we can't take everyone. At this point, we're definitely selective with who we bring on, and it's got to fit into our portfolio. And we want to make sure that like we are representing the best of the best. We want the heavy cream.
Yeah. Sean, I have a two-part question for you, Sean. How many people do you have on your roster how many companies do you have on your roster at the moment?
We are probably started with 8 2 years ago. I'd say between the two states right now, we are probably around 40. And I have I probably have, and some of those, we have the brands that we're gonna have every day. Like when you can guarantee that we're gonna have this in stock. We're gonna have Aslan. We're gonna have Dewy. We're gonna have True Respite, Union, Oliver. We're gonna have those. And then we have these other breweries that we work with from out of state, where it might just be, we might get it once a month. It might be once a quarter. It might be once a year. But it's what a lot of it boils down to, like what the market wants and what the market can support, and then also how much product that those breweries have. I'll use King's, and did you guys get to try any of those King's beers that Creston's had?
No.
Dude, if you like fruit and sours, they're crazy. The Frosés, check those out next time. But
wait, when's really next time? When's next time, Nate? When's next time?
I think there might have been some still there right now. I think I saw one. I think I saw one or two.
Yeah, yep. And I think Honey Badger was really good. And then the one they did with Baba and Bourbon South, that one was amazing. But their beers are really, really good. But I think they're pretty much only sending beer to us outside of California. We have people in California like reach out and be like, "How did you get this?" Send him an email, and he was like, "All right, cool."
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because that was one of the questions I was going to ask. Because I was going to ask how you get some of those California beers. Because it was like also Pariah you had as well. Is it Pariah? I think we've had Pariah on.
Pariah, yeah. So Pariah, actually, the Brian and Steve are from the Baltimore area. So they're both Maryland guys, and they were working with. So I said Casey. Casey he ran one of the biggest beer bars in the country for like 22 years, I think. So he had a relationship with Brian and Steve and introduced us, and it worked out.
The rest is history.
Sometimes it's hard to get beers coast to coast, and it is expensive, but the beers are good. I love Ron Hayes and Mamba Mode.
Yeah,
I've had the LeBron Hayes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had the LeBron Hayes.
Whenever we get that one in.
Yeah, I had that one out of Maryland, out of a Maryland brewery. But
somebody had a request. Somebody could please be the East Coast Connect for Crowns and Hops.
Yeah, that's crazy that she asked that question, because my next question was going to be: is there any black-owned breweries that you guys are working with currently?
So, man, I'd have to look at our list. I know there were a few. Union was, but I'm not sure now. I'd have to check, man. I apologize. I'm actually not sure, but I know we reached out to. We had reached out to. They started the Black is Beautiful.
Weather Souls.
Yeah, we definitely. I know we sent them an email. I'm not sure if we heard back or anything yet, but But yeah, that's a good question, man. I didn't even think about that. I'll take a look. I can certainly let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that would be a fire gift for the East Coast Crowns and Hops.
Right.
Yeah, Crowns and Hops is pretty good.
You know, to that question, I mean, we've had Benny on the podcast, and we are slated to have them on again. So, I mean, not that we're the connection, but you guys obviously are well known to have your own, relationship kind of strategies. So, yeah, that would be huge, because I'm always looking to try to get that beer here, other than if we can get a few, free cans.
We would love we'd love any help on that kind of connection. We're in for. So.
Right.
That goes into hold on, Dev. That goes into the second part of my question. How you said you have so many people that y'all that you guys are turning people away. What is the selection process as far as getting breweries on your roster and then going into Creston's or other beer stores to put the beer there?
So the selection process, a lot of it, and like I said, we started a lot with relationships. So there is you said that connection thing definitely helps as far as what we take on. Obviously, everybody follows Untappd ratings and hype and all that stuff. So we certainly look at that when we're taking on a brand now. For a local brewery, not as much, but we do want to make sure the liquid's good, their growth plan is in place, and that we're a good fit for them as well. Somebody that wants their beer at every single store, we're probably not the right fit. That's just
gotcha.
We're not in every place. We're in A's and B's. Not to say that we won't be someday, but we're only 2 years old, and so to say that we could get distribution at every place, whereas a larger distributor that's breakthrough a Miller House or a Bud House can probably get you into every place and get you on draft at those really hard to get places. Now we do well with getting, but we know our strengths and we know our weaknesses. So, but that's part of it. And then going into the stores, and placing those. There's a lot of stores, they know what they can sell, and there's a threshold on price point and what they're going to move through. And, our objective is to put the right beer in the right account. So we don't want beer to sit there and get old. We want a constant turn of inventory.
Constant turn.
Finding that right amount. And like I said, 2 years old, and we have a good sales team now, and they're learning that as well. Some of them, it's their first time, doing this job, but that's what we always strive for, is to put beer and keep it fresh in those.
Cool.
So the question I had was more around, love that y'all continue to support local while also bringing in some of the best beers nationally. That's the
we love local.
the flowers.
Like I said, we keep trying to. We have right now in Delaware, we have Dewy. We are hoping to pick up one more out of Delaware right now. For sure. And then Maryland, we have a lot of stuff from Maryland. So if you look at the DMV in Pennsylvania, Levante is close enough, and we love Levante does some great stuff. 2SP we do for Maryland, but we pushed our sales team that we really want to continue to grow with local breweries in the future. We have some great ones out of Maryland, DC. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jacket in DC, but we just picked them up, and they're small, but man, they're doing some great stuff. So.
You said Jacket. What was the first part of it? You said Jacket. What was the name?
Jacket. So
Blue Jacket.
It's part of the NRG group. Like in DC, if you guys have ever been to like Church Key, the Red Aprons, any of those places, the Sovereign, they own those restaurants, but they have this really cool brewery in DC by Nats Park, and it's they crank out really good beers, stouts. Like their head brewer came from Left Hand, and he does
okay.
All right, that's up right.
Yeah, it's good there. It's good. They got good beer. Oh, we already know they got good beer.
They signed up for Delaware as well, so we'll start. You'll start seeing those at Creston's, I would think, in the near future.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys you mentioned Creston's so much? Do you guys just distribute to Creston's through Delaware, or is there other?
No.
Okay.
So, but you know, they were definitely one of our originals, and they've supported us really well.
Sure.
But I know the Total Wines, Creston's, Fairfax does a great job. Delaware Growler. I mean, we deal with a lot up and down. You know, Southern Delaware, Atlantic Outlet, Beach Banks, Banks in the Ocean View area does a great job. But there's too many. I would miss all of them. I feel bad. So I don't want to. Yes.
Well, Sean.
Creston's a lot.
Crazy!
Creston's is the microcosm for all the stores. We got it.
Yeah, in total, it's Claymont as well. That store is just amazing, dude.
So good.
It's like the Walmart of alcohol.
You can find if you can't find it, they'll have it for you in a week. Everything they have everything you need.
Directing traffic on a Saturday to keep everything in line for
I remember when that the Equilibrium first dropped there, and that line wasn't crazy, but it was a decent line out there.
Yeah. I did. I was at one of those up north. I did the ones down south typically because just living down here. But I think Rob, I met you at that one, at one of the ones at Total Wine.
Yeah, probably because I'm trying to be. I'm always trying to be there.
Always trying to be there.
I know. I think Will was at one of them that I went to from Equilibrium.
Oh yeah, he came to like the first four.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those always turned into crazy. My wife was like, "Oh, Will's gonna be in town." I guess
trouble. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Well, because if you follow Will, then you saw the Instagram. Seen his story. He didn't leave. He went to like some bar later.
Yeah,
nice. Right. Drinking caravan. He recruiting people.
Right.
I think the first time it was that first go around. They went the first night he went to Throwbacks.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. And then I heard that one got ugly. And then next night you were down in Dewy going hard. It was like, oh man, I don't know how he did it, but
right.
Now,
being a dish. Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to ask. In terms of you were talking about the team, like how many people are on the team, and like in terms of and bringing this all into fruition.
So right now we're at there's three of us. We're at 5 drivers. We have an ops manager, warehouse manager, 6 sales reps, and then another Casey he does a lot of managing different things for us. So
okay,
I'm probably missing.
So I think you said you're up to 12, right? You said you're up to 12 people.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
And I think
that's it. Everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Are y'all looking to expand that?
We're definitely investing in our infrastructure, buying more trucks. We just bought our 6th truck, which is pretty exciting.
Nice.
We started with 1.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Right.
And we have one. If you ever see our trucks, they're mostly like white, but we have one that's clearly like an old boar's head truck. Wagon. So if you ever see like an unlabeled old board, clearly it's got the black and red old board.
Right.
Just follow that.
All faded.
It got beer. It has beer in it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Follow the truck. You know it's going somewhere with something.
Right.
It got beer in it.
Exactly.
It's not going to the
Sean,
house.
You mentioned that, just from an account management standpoint, you guys are now up to the 40. What do you guys do in terms of, or what's your strategy behind like going from, the moment the order comes in to shelf to these places? Like what kind of lead time do you have to give them to, from order to shelf?
we do a lot of our, so some things like the out of state breweries and the ones that are the ones that we have to have shipped in, those will get picked up. Let's say it's a Monday. That I'll use Equilibrium as an example. We'll pick up from Equilibrium on Monday. Typically, the beer is delivered on Tuesday. That will start going out on Wednesday. So we don't hold on to it. We want it. We want it to turn.
Want it to stay fresh.
Yep. And then
Stay
from
fresh.
our local brewery, we send all of our trucks out. Typically on Monday, we do a few deliveries, but Monday's a slow delivery day. So we do. We pick up from all of our local breweries on Mondays typically. So and a lot of that has been packaged within a 3 or 4 day period. So we're picking up that fresh, and then it's at the store. Like in Maryland, it'll be there. It'll be there on a Tuesday, depending on where we're delivering. Our deliveries in Delaware, so we deliver in Delaware. We'll do some small ones here and there, but we usually do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Delaware.
Gotcha. Well, that helps. Like you said, you Delaware, Maryland, so you can pretty much make sure that it's there kind of when they need it. But what do you guys do? Should there be like kind of this? I'm sure there's probably cases where it's like kind of a turn on the dime, or like how do you guys manage that with just you say I think you had 2 or 3 drivers. You might have said more, but 5
drivers.
So yes. So what are you doing in the pinch when you got 40 accounts and 5 drivers? Like
So 40. I'm sorry, it wasn't 40 accounts. I thought you meant accounts. So we work with 40 suppliers.
Okay.
Account wise, we're at about, between the 2 states, I think we're about 600.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I thought it was going to lessen.
So yeah. So right. So how do you?
No. We don't have 10. We have 1,026.
So it's a lot of like turnaround on the yard, like super quick. Like okay, like
it's 8 and 12-hour delivery shifts. We
have. We usually start picking at each of our warehouses, so loading trucks at 3 a.m. My partner Andrew does kind of all the routing and it gets all the invoices set and stuff overnight. He works like crazy, crazy shifts, and he'll get everything ready, set. Then we have the guys come in at 3 to 2 guys come into each warehouse and load trucks and get on the road. We're on the road with each of our trucks by 8 a.m. and usually start delivering start at an account by 9 o'clock.
Okay. Now a question in terms of I guess distribution. Like if you had like equal accounts in terms of price points and all that kind of stuff, how do you decide who gets what?
Oh man, that's always like a question. It's always been a tough thing to do, but it pretty much starts. I have a set amount of cases, and that's what I have to work with, and I have to take care. It's a relationship thing. That's the beer business that's what it's about. So those relationships come. It's sales. Like who supports us. Like who's been there for us from the get go. Who's So it really comes down to who supported us, and It can be as simple as going down a list and, hey man, these are our top accounts. We'll go down and they each get one or whatever. And some of it is we set up we have a sheet that any of these like breweries that we know are beers that come in that we know we're going to sell out of. Our system we essentially call it a wish list. So those accounts get to fill out their wish list and then try to make sure everybody gets what they're looking for. Sometimes it can't happen, but just go down that list and chisel it down.
Right. I imagine I don't know where Creston is. Wilmington Creston is on that list, but can you make sure they number one?
Yeah, man,
I would. If we're out here asking for preference, I need to claim
his backyard.
Total Wine. Yeah, I need to claim my Total Wine, sir.
Man, they supported us early on when we, 2 years ago, they were one of our first accounts to really get rolling with us.
Oh,
I imagine.
So that's a yes.
I imagine too, there's probably, again, knowing the anatomy of the accounts, like, okay, like we just did a delivery to them like a week ago, and I'm assuming like you got to know their threshold of like how much they may still have on hand versus
our
that
sales
kind of
rep
thing.
goes in and does their inventory every week.
Inventory.
So a lot of those guys, they get a delivery every single week.
Okay.
And like
So
I
you
said,
do
there's some of those that are it's the local and it's kind of like the core beers. We don't have a lot of core stuff, but they'll check those, get get orders for all that stuff, whether it's like Oliver Be More Hazy, Union Duck Pin, any of that kind of stuff. And then after all that stuff, that order's done, then it kind of goes into here's what's new. Here's what's fresh. Like, you got room, can you fit it? And that's kind of like the basis that we try to roll off of.
Well, and it's cool because I don't know who runs the IG page, but they are posting pretty frequently, and actually are responsive. Like, if you're like, yo, where exactly is this going to be?
Oh, dude, I actually do that. So whenever
hey, he's our guy. He's our guy.
That's what I'm saying. If you're ever looking for something, shoot me a message. I'll tell you where to go.
Nice.
He's like, I'm that guy.
You don't have to worry.
So we know the plug is Sean.
Plug is Sean.
Right. Nice. Sean is the plug. Sean, after this podcast, you'll get our individual addresses.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, because of I guess COVID, like, and a lot of breweries had to switch some of their plans, like more canning and stuff like that. Now, so have you seen an uptick in terms of people trying to reach out, like, yo, can we get distributed?
Yeah, exactly. There was, like I said, we had to make a call to pretty much all of our suppliers. That, as soon as all the restaurants shut down, but I mean, there was no chance people were going to stop drinking, right? So it was like,
they're drinking more.
Right, essential more. Wasn't that essential?
Yeah, it sure was.
There will be, I think we'll see some of the breweries maybe we won't be able to get as much beer from, but a lot of them, had growth plans anyway. It's just some of them, their growth plans had to change and probably even accelerate a little bit because the cans were, we were cranking. I'll give you an example. Like we work with Aslan, and we sell a lot of Aslan, and we were picking up a truckload of kegs every week, and they didn't have plans to send us cans until 2021, and it was going to be kind of limited drops. And then COVID in the next 2 or 3 weeks later, it was like, all right, let's go. And
we got these cans.
It came with, I'm not sure if you've tried many of their beers, but the Aslan beers are amazing. I love that, and their price point is it's really good. They went for an aggressive price point, and we're picking up. Some weeks we can get by with one truck, and I would say some of the weeks we're buying 2 truckloads of beer from Aslan.
Yeah, I think I had peanut butter. I think I had the peanut butter and the peanut butter IPA.
Oh, man.
I can't remember what else.
With a baseball bat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had that on the podcast.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Crazy. I really didn't think I was gonna like it. I was like, man, what did you guys do? But then I tried. I was like, oh, this is Captain Crunch Berries.
Yes,
it was delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, that's why I had no more cans left, Dad.
Oh, that was that one. It was like,
that didn't make it to your pack. It didn't make it to your package.
Didn't even make it.
No.
Hey Sean, how was your pivot? How was you guys' pivot? I remember in the beginning you said you guys were just getting kegs, and then you quickly a year later had to pivot back to the cans. As we get back to normal, are you going to go more toward back to drafts, or are you going to stick with the cans?
Well, we're pretty much going wherever the market takes us. So we're certainly what was it, March 16th? I think everything shut down. So
13th for me.
We made all those calls, went to cans, pretty much sold it, and we had a certain number of kegs left in house. Like, man, what are we going to do with these? I don't want to.
Right.
This is a small business. There's 3 of us in all of our camps, so we got to get rid of these kegs. We can't sit on this inventory.
Right.
So we went aggressive on that pricing, got rid of it, cleared our kegs. That allowed us to, when some draft started to come back, that allowed us to buy draft again. So, in June, I think it was June roughly, we started to see like, all right, hey, I'll take some kegs. So we started to order again. And I don't know for sure, but I would take a bet that we were one of the only ones. And that's where one benefit of being small, we were probably one of the only ones with like very fresh beer. And our breweries were kegging to order for us, and we're back to that. We're ordering a lot of kegs and selling a lot of kegs again as that comes back. So and having a balance of it would be great to have a good we love going to bars and having beers, but we want those package stores to keep burning through too. So having a good balance on that, if we can be 50-50, that's great. Because before COVID, we were probably 80-20 draft to package.
So now you're fitted. Now you're fitted for either scenario, really.
Yeah. Yep. And then
exactly.
I would say through points in COVID, we were probably 95-5 package to draft.
Wow.
Now we're definitely seeing it come back, and we're getting kegs from all our local guys. We're getting kegs from. I know I have some. I'm not sure if you guys have you tried anything from Untitled Art?
Yes.
Dev
just had.
Dev had Kool-Aid.
I thought it was Lou.
Those guys are
Lou?
great.
I
have an order of kegs for them.
I can't remember.
Tripping Animals. We're gonna get some kegs from them.
Okay.
But yeah, we try to grab stuff from. We've gotten some civil society, so yeah, we try to grab as much as we can.
So Sean, I wanted to know, I'm a everyday, Joe that's coming in, and if I were to call you and say, look, I'm having this party, you know what I mean? I'm expecting like 100 people, and I need a couple kegs of this, that, and the third. Could me, just kind of a consumer, come to you and get a couple kegs, and you guys, whether not really open an account, but would you guys service me in that case?
We can't.
Or there's a minimum.
We can't sell to consumer.
Gotcha.
Legally, we have to sell to
a brick and mortar like business.
Buy from us. So you could go to, any your local store, wherever you shop. Ask them for those kegs.
Ask them for it, and then they would request it.
We send out every week. We send out an inventory of what we have and what's coming into all of our accounts. And they'll have a draft list. So if you wanted a keg of Dewy, we may have it, we may not, but we'll do our best to. Or
it's probably best to kind of plan accordingly. Like if you want to go to a Crescent and that's your spot. And you've had it, in a can or packaged or whatever through them. Hey, if I'm having something, again, pretty much plan through them, but plan in advance if you know if you got enough time. Okay.
So we have kegs all the time, and a day notice we can get a keg in. A day before the delivery, if we know, we'll get them a keg that you can buy.
Okay, good to know.
Then in that vein, have like stores ever asked you to try to get a specific brewery? That may not have been on your roster yet.
Yep.
How does that? Do you guys just contact them and it starts up, or how does that work?
Yeah. So I mean, if it's a brewery that makes sense, certainly we'll reach out. And I mean, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into bringing a brewery on, and then registering through the state. So they have to go through all the state registration, and all that. So it's not as easy as just like reaching out, grabbing them, and they're there the next week. But we've been asked about accounts or about breweries and buy accounts, and if we
just curious, Sean, how long does that take?
It could take from the initial conversation. It could be for Delaware. It could be a couple weeks. Maryland takes a little longer. Maryland could be 6 to 8 weeks, but it just depends on how fast it can all get put together. So
I never even thought about that. I literally thought it was that easy.
Delaware does. They do a good job. They have an online portal and stuff now. Cut the check for the tax.
You can get your beer. Cut the check. Get the beer. Go Delaware.
He's stupid.
That's funny.
Tamara wanted to know that Beer and Body is the one that gets on your nerve regularly on the IG.
She says she's the one that bothers you on IG all the time.
No, never bother me. No.
It's fine. It's a bother.
Tell the truth, Sean. Tell the truth, Sean. You keep on red a lot.
I love talking to people in there. I mean, and you can check out other distributors, but we I think we have a pretty strong presence on our social media for a distributor. it's pretty rare. We worked pretty hard to build that. So that's part of it, man. Like I'm here to answer. I want you to be able to go and get our beer. I want to let you know where it is. So that never bothered me.
Have that interaction.
I might wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and answer you at 3 a.m., but that's just my sleep.
He just says, "I'm just trying to get beer. I'm just trying to make sure people get the beer they want." That's
I'm with you. I appreciate you then.
Now, going in terms of creating this new business, was your overall goal always just to go with the some of the local and I guess craft beer like you weren't going like big name things, because a lot of you, not big name in terms of like, but you were staying in the craft industry, like in terms of who you were going with.
Yeah.
That was always
I've always, craft beer and small breweries have kind of always been what I was interested in. Being from, I'm from the Eastern Shore, so this, lower Delaware, Maryland part. But so, I heard about Dogfish a long time ago when I was probably in high school when I first read those articles, and then got into it when I was in college and brewed, and then the job with the distributor came up, and I went to getting ready for the interview, and I hadn't heard of some of the brands, and this was 12 years ago. And it was Dale's Pale Ale. And I was like, oh man, I haven't heard of that. There's one place on the Eastern Shore that sells it. I'm going to go buy it before I go to this interview. I want to know if I want this job. So so I went and tried it, and I was like, holy shit, man, I want this job now. This beer is amazing. So so I've always focused on that. And then, over these last 10 to 12 years, the expansion of craft beers has been huge. So there's all these breweries that had no representation in in the states that I live in. And it's like, all these people that are trading beer. So one of the thoughts is I would like to bring the beers that you're trading for to the States. That's one of the things that, my partners and I wanted to do. So, we got Equilibrium, we got Kings, we continue to add to that list, Civil Society, Tripping Animals, all that stuff, and way too many to list. So
if you want to break some news here, you be free to do it.
I'm trying to think of a couple of the new ones that are coming. Well, have you guys had the Rare Barrel? Their stuff will be in soon.
Yeah, actually, we just had a Rare Barrel. The Sangria Noir. That was Rare.
Oh barrel. Yeah, that was good. That was
Lou just asked me, can I get some more?
Yeah, I already talked to him. I'm getting more of that on the way.
That's good.
But Sean, just put that in Crescents and Total Wine locally. So I don't got to.
They've already done. I think they've already done a pre-order actually. So
pre-order.
We should place the order on Tuesday, and then coming from California, it'll probably be 2 or 3 weeks away. But they'll be nice.
All right.
Good. I can wait 2-3 weeks. I can do that.
Right. Tamara's waiting for Ale
Song. I haven't talked to them in a little while, but they definitely do some good stuff. I'd have to go back through my emails. We everything was looking promising, like late winter, but I don't think we've talked to them. But I know we have in that same kind of like mixed firm and wild culture stuff. Their Rare Barrel's great, and then we also have Odd Breed coming in out of Florida. That's another one to check out when they come in. So.
All right. I mean,
so your team. So you said coming in out of Florida. So let's, for example, like how does that work? Would you would you go down to Florida and get that and bring it up this way? Like how does that work?
We have we use trucking companies. So we have this really good company and we've used different ones, but in the last year we've started working with a company called Brew Movers. And they kind of spun off of. They owned another logistic company, but it's two guys, two young guys. They split off and they saw this boom and like all these guys shipping beer. So they specialize in this, and it's a really good system. So they take care of all the logistics for us. We plug it in, they get it all set. Awesome. And it's usually they're great. No, they keep us updated on when it's going to land. We'll get a message, and with anything shipping, there's damage, and that sucks. But so sometimes we've had a couple shipments where we lost a lot of beer. But like coming from Florida, it's probably It's usually 3 days.
Okay.
3 days transit. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Brew movers.
Now, go ahead, Rob.
Somebody go. Anybody.
I was going to ask. Obviously, being a distributor. I mean, your sounds like your focus obviously is just the beer and things like that. How are you guys thinking about expanding being a distributor of other goods, other things that are?
No, we do
also essential.
Yeah,
okay.
We do some liquor in Delaware. We haven't done liquor in Maryland yet, and that's solely just because we haven't really had a partner to work with that justifies increasing the amount of the license and all that. But Delaware, like you said, we're beer guys, man. Like, but we actually have some amazing spirits in our portfolio for Delaware. If you like tequila, Uno Dos Tres tequila is amazing. It's so good. That's an organic. Of all the things that we sell in our portfolio, that's probably like the one thing that my wife really, really likes is tequila. So that's like the one thing.
I think Fairfax was just had that on it. We have Uno Dos Tres. I think. Fairfax.
Oh man, that's all. Yeah, Fairfax. That's such a great store, man. They're really good people.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm close to both of these, so you can just keep
stock up, keep them stocked.
Right, Rob's radius.
Don't make me look too far.
Being green.
So the Y's ain't too far from him either. So
that's like an exit. Two exits.
Yeah. When I got the Equilibrium, that was that Total Wine.
Yeah, Total Wine.
And that was before the renovations. Now it's even more reason to go there. The renovations is amazing.
Yeah,
especially after COVID is actually going, then it'd probably be really better.
Going to that Total Wine, it's an experience.
Yeah, it is.
It really
is. It's overwhelming, actually.
Now, the first time, that first time, yeah.
One of the first times I went.
You need that with me, please.
I just saw this stack of like Opus One wine. I was like, oh my god! Like I know how much that costs. Like that. I can't imagine what that looks like.
Right. You go in there, they got 14,000-gallon bottles of champagne. You're like, really? It's $5,000. Who gonna get that?
I did. What was my question? In terms of, I know, I remember now. In terms of liquor, liquor can be like corporations. It's not too hard in Delaware, but liquor and anywhere, I guess, have a lot of red tape and regulations and stuff like that. Did you find it easy to navigate because you were in the business for a while, or was it still like this is a whole lot of work?
A lot of paperwork.
Liquor, we how that came about. It came from an importer that we knew them, and they had a liquor portfolio too. So that's how we kind of got it. Obviously, marketing dollars behind the big boys, it's tough to compete with. So it's got to be like a really good product. And the other liquor that we've done really well with, we have a really good gin Murray. But have you ever heard of the pickle shot? It's a pickle vodka out of Ocean City. Man,
I've heard about it, but I've never had it.
I've known those guys for a long time, so it just made sense, and it was a good partnership to get rolling when they were looking for someone in Delaware. We actually sell a lot of it. People love it. So,
what kind of liquor is this?
Shot?
It's a pickle. It's pickle vodka.
Pickle vodka.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound great.
And I think they sell them in like shots too.
What's that?
They sell them in like shots too, right? Yeah. I think I saw one or two at Creston's.
And then there's spicy. I think it's just, but they had talked about doing like a sweet one as well. But
okay. Well, Sean,
really it's great for Bloody Marys too.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like it would.
It seems like you're definitely not shooting.
Shooting your shot.
Yeah. What is the deal?
So Sean, like being as though obviously you've got you're distributing for a lot of these brands, right? Tell us a little bit about the way that kind of I guess you would say like a night on the town might be with a client that's like, whether it's vodka or if it's a beer and they want you to try this, try that. Like, how do you?
And since COVID, It's hard, man. That is
how you turn off their faucet of feeding you booze?
Yeah, it's
without offending them, because you know that you don't want to offend them, right? So you're like, okay, I'll try this, I'll try that.
And so we would do like since COVID, it's not as big, but we would go, a crew drive for a brewery. We would, and it's pack samples in the truck and let's go. And it's samples at every single place. So it definitely gets a little hairy. It's like, all right, we're getting a hotel tonight or we're staying.
Right. I got to stay. I got my snack pack. I got my travel pack of stuff, my goodies I need to snack on while I'm dipping.
Meanwhile, you're working.
Okay, so that's
right.
So that was like a mild version of a story. Can you tell us a little bit about a night where it just got crazy, or has
Hang
it?
on 1 second. Let me get. Hey, I'm gonna get my computer's about to die. I gotta grab my charger real quick.
Grab a charger. All right.
I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if I should do this.
Tell us what you can.
He's like, you trying to give me a quote? You trying to give me a quote?
Yeah. You know what?
Don't gotta name names.
No,
he's gone. While he's gone, they got all these different beers for pickles. The pickle shot, I want to taste it. I want to
taste it.
They got a pickle.
That's vodka.
It's vodka, yeah, but they got a pickle teeny. You could make a Bloody Mary, like you said.
You see all the stuff that you can put it in.
Yeah, they got a whole.
They had it at the local liquor store because I think I saw it and I was going to get one day, but
what is it in the 4-pack little things? The little 4-pack.
You can buy it that way, or in like the little it almost like the grenadine bottles, in plastic bottle.
And I was going to grab one, but I was like, no, I'm good. Maybe later. I mean, I haven't really drank hard liquor in a while, so I don't know.
Sean, you should have had your wife. Sean should have his wife come to tell the story instead.
Oh, she might not. She might not know about that story.
She may not. She may not need to be listening either.
Right.
It ain't that bad. Don't do that to my man.
So I'd say like some of the nights like with Will were definitely those were definitely
epic night.
Point the figure.
Right. Was all blaming him.
One good one. I don't know if I should like incriminate myself on some of these. So I had one of my employees with him one night. I had a wedding to go to, so we started off. We started off at one of the EQ drops at it was, I think I went to Total Wilmington in the morning, and then we went to R&L Liquors in Lewis afterwards. Did that. And we had like a little tap event later in the day, and I had to roll for a wedding, so I left like one of my employees with. I was like, "Hey man, just hang out. I'll get you a hotel, whatever you need." And I got a video from them later that night on the. I don't know where they went, what they did. I know they bounced around, but my buddy that owns Rise Up Coffee and
Rise Up.
That coffee roast. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but they have a location in Rehoboth. And I guess they ended up there, boozing, drinking.
Wow. His wife said, nope.
She pulled the plug.
Pulled the
plug. Like you talking about your coworker, that was you. That wasn't your coworker, that was you.
Well, I know a guy.
right, the no guy thing.
Somebody sent me a video a little later in the afternoon talking about what happened, what we was doing.
He thought he was getting juice from that plug. That plug was bad.
He said, well, I know a guy that I left.
Well, just to fill in, like I can only imagine. I can only imagine that, again, you're trying not to offend people and, you're trying to entertain these accounts and stuff and get their business. It's only natural that they're like having you go in. And
Sean set his coworker. Sean set his coworker up. Sean didn't tell him nothing.
Right. This is the part of initiation.
Sean said, go on with him. Go with Will, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Now we gotta have Will on. Now we gotta have Will on the podcast to tell about some of these stories.
Tell us about some of these stories.
So he can be like, so when he said that guy. Him.
That was Sean. That guy's name. His name is Sean.
His name is Sean. Probably was him when he first started out. You know what I mean? When he was a young whippersnapper.
His initiation.
Well, he said somebody sent him a video. it was of him.
Here's the footage. I will dangle this. I will keep this in the vault as long as
I was home at 8 o'clock. That was home at no, you weren't. Timestamp 11.
The crazy part is that at the end of the day, he working. So
right.
That's my job. Like,
right.
Ooh,
Exactly.
I need a job like that.
Nah, job is not to get drunk.
Well, and I imagine he back. He coming back.
Yeah, he back with
coming back.
He back with a new handle. Oh, it's a new
I
person.
Handle. Had to start over.
I had to get with the times, man. I didn't know.
There you go. Hit the reset button.
So I don't know where I cut off.
You were just
the video.
You were telling us how you got a video, how you sent the video to your friends. With you and Will.
Video from the guy from Will and Tim from Rise Up at like 1 o'clock in the morning on the roof of that Rise Up in Rehoboth. Drinking tequila. My employee's eyes were just completely closed back on the sofa that they had.
Right, just taking anything they gave you.
Oh, I think he had to take off like 3 or 4 days after.
Oh yeah,
recovery period.
Recovery.
But I'm sure while he was thinking, he was like, 4 days. Best job ever.
Oh, man.
Right.
I'm sure his girlfriend. I think they're still together, but I'm sure his girlfriend at the time was not very happy.
Right.
If they not still together, that was the first day of the end.
It was like
I'm retiring from here.
The Hangover movie. It was the Hangover movie in real life. He was like, "Yep,
absolutely."
Right.
That's funny.
While
you were setting back up, Sean, we came to the conclusion.
We came up with a whole other different version of the story.
That the guy that you're referring to is actually you.
No. I mean,
I think so.
Like, that probably happened, but that was a different night.
Right.
I don't remember it.
We made a whole story.
So do you ever send some of your, I guess you would say, let's say after you've got a well-seasoned account, you know what I mean? You've been to them a couple of times and you want to introduce kind of a new face from other side beverage. Do you send them sometimes in your place? And kind of like leaving it open because you know what kind of situation they could be walking into, and just let them kind of navigate through on their own a little bit and to kind of get a little, flavor of the account.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
As a part of almost like an initiation, like you gotta find out for 100%. Yourself. I can't give you all the tea, right? Yeah. Good.
You know what I was thinking about? Has there been any times where you guys had a beer or any type of even liquor, but if y'all had anything, if something happened and you couldn't distribute it, like has there been any situations where that happened where there was nothing you could do with the product, or?
You mean like it just wasn't like working sales wise, or the relationship wasn't working out, or? Yeah,
just I mean either.
Or the beer was bad. You got the beer and it was bad.
The beer was bad. Something that was.
So we've had like in the in the 2 years, and it happens. We've had a couple products that it just wasn't working out like for both of us. So, it's basically just like, hey man, I just don't think this one's going to work out. Like we can't move it. If you can find somebody else to move it, please do so. Like, but we're not seeing a pull through. So, I mean that, it's unfortunate, but it's been better for both parties to just kind of end the relationship. So,
okay.
And
so what would you do with that beer?
It's been one or two, but, and I'll go to like, we're beer guys. So, there's certain products that we're just not good at selling. And, we would fully encourage like people to find somebody that is good at selling that. Not saying that we won't get better at that, but we've focused very, most of our efforts on beer and growing this beer portfolio. So
I got a question, and this is more competitor related. How do you guys feel like you measure up to a NKS? This kind of in the area of Delaware, are they considered a competitor? And what do you guys do to try to grow your market share against your competitors?
So they're certainly competitors. I think they've been doing this a long time.
It's like they like family owned, aren't they? They like a whole family.
I think it's like one family that owns. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm pretty sure it's one family that owns them, that Standard and NKS. I don't know that for sure, but that was always my understanding.
I think for Rob and for your wedding, and I think my wedding, like a lot of the beer stuff came from them. But go ahead and continue.
And that goes back to one of the reasons that we wanted to get rolling in Delaware. There was only like 3 real distributors that were really focusing on beer. It was NKS, Standard, and Breakthrough. So there was nobody else that, and if some of these other smaller breweries that went into one of those portfolios, you would never
get lost. Right.
Definitely.
So as far as like competition though, like in where I think we stand up, the quality of our beer is second to none. I don't think anyone has better beer than us. Their logistics, their backing, there's certainly a lot of money behind in a Budweiser or Miller house or a Breakthrough. So like on that level, like we're not that company. We know that we'll probably never be at that level, but the way for us, we're super competitive. We want every draft line that we can get, every shelf placement that we can get. So we strive for that. I don't worry about anybody else.
Right.
I'm competing. It's my pride. It's my company. It's
on the line.
My family that we're representing, my partners' families. So
I feel like the competitive side, your competitors being larger companies, I almost feel like that you guys had an upper hand because you're a smaller company, because it's almost like you were able to build a better relationship. Having a smaller portfolio than say, well, I ain't gonna say their names, but like then the other competitors.
And I mean that's like we like being small, and there's certainly benefits to being small. Just like I was saying earlier with the COVID thing, when that pivot time came, we were able to move through all of our kegs and get through it because we can't afford to dump them. Like that's not an honor. That's not that we were not able to. We had to sell it, and it was. We hit the streets every day, and I still love going out and seeing accounts, every day. There's times when that can't happen just because we have to manage the business and manage all the other people as well. But
that's
what's up.
Now we've heard a lot about I guess the other side, but in terms of Sean, like I guess we always like to know like the beer journey. Like how did you even get into beer?
So like I said, I think it was hearing that Dogfish story, when I was in high school even, I think, and then that story was just like super motivating. I was like, man, this guy's like, because back then it was, Coors Light, Miller, like that's all. I think my dad drank Coors Light. My mom, I think she drank like same thing, Coors Light or something. There was never any variety. So as I got older, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, let me try Yingling. Let me try Blue Moon. So I'm in college, like everybody else is buying 30 racks or, kegs. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to try this Dogfish. Like, I'm picking up like some, $10 6-pack stuff when everybody else is spending like 14 on a 30 or something. So I always kind of had this like interest in that. And then I started brewing probably like in I'd say my mid 20s. And thought I wanted to open a brewery. I, had all that stuff laid out, and then I started with a distributor, and then, I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I don't think I like want just one type of beer, or like one beer from one brewery. Like, I'm sure I like the stuff that I'm brewing, but it's not better than that. Like, I'm not. And at that time I was, was kind of, I don't know where that like bubble's going to burst. And it turns out like there was room for a lot more breweries, but on that distributor level, it was like, man, like I'm trying all these crazy beers from around the world, and like, world-class stuff. I'm drinking St. Bernardus for the first time, and Triple Carmelite and all this like great stuff that we sold at this distributor that I worked for. So, and it just kind of kept growing with that. And then the guys from RAR were getting rolling, and I knew those guys, and they they came and brewed at my house a couple times, so became friends with them, and we brought them into the distributor that I was working for at the time. So, and then naturally just kind of progressed, and I ended up going to work there and started as the sales director, and I ended up running the production schedule, which is really cool. So I learned a lot about the production side while I was there. So I guess hopefully that answered your question. That was
I did. Now I'm not going to ask
who's your
favorite brewery. I'm not going to ask who your favorite brewery is because the business you in. But I'll ask the style. Like, what's your favorite style of beer?
I feel like I've been in the years that I've really loved. I used, IPAs were always like a big thing, and then it was like I wanted as bitter as I could back then, like 12 years ago, like. Take the enamel off the teeth, bitter,
right?
And then it's like, and then it kind of progresses to like, I feel like I've been through the whole game, and then I was drinking a lot of Belgian stuff, and then some stouts for a little while. I drank sours for a while, and then the sour thing, I think it was like one beer that I can remember, like, and I still love sours, but it's just a pinch, and it's just part of getting older. I get acid reflux now if I drink like the wrong stuff. So if I'm drinking and like I probably drink the IPAs the most. I like small pours of like some of the fruited sours, and some of the big stouts, and then but I love lagers too. IPAs and lagers are probably the things that I drink the most of. I love a really, really good pills, like a dry hop pilsner. Aslan does right now. That's Facts, and that's a New Zealand hop pilsner, and that one was really good. Dewy does some great stuff. I like Brewers in the Wild. That's a new one that I think you'll see pop up.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what's up. You on mute, Dad? You had a question.
Yeah, I did. I had a question. So in a world of like entertainment, you have people who like want to work with like their, artists or dream artists. For you in distribution world, like what's that, that account that you're striving to reach, or is there kind of those pegs?
As far as like a brewery that I think
a brewery or someone you want to, do some business with this.
Yeah.
It's hard to catch up with or whatever.
The cool thing about this is like I feel like I already work with a lot of the ones that were up there. There's always, obviously there's a couple out there right now that are not represented in these couple states. Like, I think anybody would want to work with, Monkish, Alchemist, Treehouse. Right. So obviously any of those would be giant.
Heavy hitters are out there.
Does great stuff. Their IPAs they're great. Let's see. So yeah, any of those guys, I think, if I could line up any of those to come on board with us, I would be Electric. Oh, that's another one. Electric is brewing fantastic IPAs. Yeah.
Okay. Good to hear.
That's what's up. All right. Any more questions for Sean?
No.
I guess it's kind of along the same lines of that question, but it's like, are there any liquor stores or whatever that are like chomping at the bit, like, you got to get me this? Like, a lot of people are asking for it, and now you can't seem to get your hands on it or get enough of it for it to make maybe sense for other side beverage company. Are there any situations?
It's kind of cool that you asked that, because I'll tell you what beer we get asked about more than any other beer right now, and that pipeline is going to start to fill, and it's going to be out there. But Dewy beer, we get beer. It's crazy from Delaware, small. So it's cool that you asked that question, because it actually, and I'm not even trying to hype these guys. I love them, and their beers are amazing. But it naturally, like, people reach out all the time. When can I get Dewy? When can I get Dewy? When can I get Dewy? And then
people ask me all about Thrillers all the time, like, yo.
Yeah, because I was going to say, ain't that who make Thrillers? And I never had it before. And every time I went to go get it one time, and it was just like, it's just too much. I'm like, those shits go so quick, yo.
They are
delicious. Yeah, you might need to make that connection for us, Sean, to get us some, but then also have them on here and be like, yo, all of our listeners are asking for it, our viewers are asking for it. Let it come, let it flow.
Well, that's why they opening up the new joint.
Yeah, you should 100% go down and check it out.
Okay.
I'll get down there. That's cool.
That's all the questions I had.
Hoping to like open the patio in April and get everything rolling.
Oh, good. That's right. Next.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. He said he's gonna be there tomorrow, so he's gonna put that in their ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I gotta go pick up some kegs, man. Gotta give people what they want.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, Sean, your philosophy or your strategy, just like ours is just like networking and building networking. You know what I mean? Connecting people, connecting with people, whatever their connection is to beer or their brand or whatever. That's what it's all about.
100%. It's a relationship business, man, and that like every beer I've ever sold is sold off of a relationship.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Cool. Cool.
Good, man.
All right. Any more questions?
I guess you could. The last question is like, I guess what can we see like in the near future from Other Side Beverage that not necessarily is like private information, but what can we see in the near future from Other Side, just kind of coming out of this pandemic, coming out of, kind of this lockdown where there's people getting more out into, out and back to public kind of partying or events?
Yeah, I mean, I think we would. I think hopefully you'll see a lot more beer out there, more draft lines popping up. We're definitely starting to focus on getting back to working with bars and restaurants again as they open more and more. So more draft, and then I think somewhere a lot of really good breweries are coming. I can assure you of that. We have some great stuff. We have some great stuff coming down the pike, and if you follow our our social media, you'll be able. And then I think at some point we'd like to do some kind of like. And this, I don't know if COVID's like with that, if this year's the right year, but I think at some point we'd like to work with a lot of people that we've made relationships with and do kind of a cool beer festival and drop a bunch of cans. And I think we should definitely have all you guys there hanging out with us and drinking.
We'd love that. We'd like to be that podcast.
One of those nights that we all end up on the
or it may. Just we'll get rooms. That's all.
Yeah, I'm already on book
ready.
Yeah, my room's already booked. I ain't gonna mess it.
Or either end up on a roof or have squishy pants.
Hopefully you don't have squishy pants after.
I'm gonna just book a room. Clear all that out.
If it's warm, sleep on the beach or what.
Right. Hey. That might be common.
All right. Before we wrap up, we always like to know how people can find you on IG or the World Wide Web. So how can they find Other Side Beverage?
Okay, cool. So Instagram, it's Other Side Beverage. Facebook, same thing, Other Side Beverage Project. And then our website is Other Side Beverage Project as well.
Good.
All right.
I haven't done Twitter, man. I just that 3 is enough, dude. I can't.
I understand.
There's another app that's out there right now too that actually I'm trying to like start working with too. He's it's actually Will from Equilibrium started this with a guy out of Delaware. Beer Discovery. That app is featuring like where all these beers are dropping and all that stuff.
Yeah, actually, I downloaded that last week. I think. I was like, oh, okay. So that was cool. It kind of it takes some of the hunting problem out of there. Like, where can I find this at?
Yeah,
for sure.
I see what Sean just did. He tried to make sure you get that app so you won't bother him.
No, dude. Like I said, I actually enjoyed that part of the Instagram and stuff, man. I like answering those questions. So.
Good.
Yep, and it's it's another like good way to find out where people are shopping. So it's
right,
like, where do you live? Where are you shopping? Are we missing that one? Or why are we not in there? So.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Good. All right. Deb, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Dev Drinks Craft Brew. That's it.
Yo, it wasn't no underscores. Threw me off. I forgot.
That was long, right?
Yeah.
Long with the underscore.
Yeah, that's why we still giving them that extra 5 seconds.
That was just like the wrong awkward pause. Let's go.
We was waiting.
Wrap it up.
Normally we still going. Underscore. Okay.
Say that. Right. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that extra time.
You're welcome.
Get Drinks Craft Brew __. How about that?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
For no reason,
take a breath.
Right, for no reason.
Yeah, just take a breath out there. Every time from now on.
It's like watching the dot. You know, like when you watch the little sing along.
Yeah.
So there's like the dot is bouncing over the word. You were waiting
for the next start. Right. You carry on.
Let's go. You can find me. You can find 302 Yoda on Instagram at 302 Yoda and on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere at Delaware on Grind, the podcast.
Right. Nice.
Lou?
I'm on them Instagrams. Lou Belgium.
Okay.
All right. And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to the podcast, you can even say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast because we are on Amazon Music. You can also watch us live on Sundays on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also check the replay on Facebook and YouTube as well. You can go to www.bruisingbanter.com and get the merch if you want some. And if you want to follow me, Rob Stay Bruising is right there. As always, remember to like and subscribe. Or I think Apple was changing their subscribe to like because people thought you had to pay money to follow.
Oh, okay. So it's a subscription. Yeah. Oh, nice.
So they changing that to like. So because people are familiar with the like button. So remember, like, rate, review. Okay. This has been episode 112. What the players will are Bruising and the podcast. Until next time.
Right.
Peace.
Have a good week, everyone.
Yep. Guys, thank you so much.
Let's go. Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
He's out.
He's the
I told her be patient, she waited. I gave her the dick, walked out doing the beatbox challenge. Like, yeah, get in them, baby. Get in them, baby. I say I can piss in the cup, call it lemonade, baby. Let that bitch off, I'm a renegade, baby. I'ma get out of there, I ain't feeling that. Nigga run up on me with the cell phone, I can fuck around down there. Kill him on IG Live. Let the whole world see nigga die. Yeah, shout out to Spot him, we got him.